Let's start. I do always seem to start sitting, but because I think it's the best way to start. And every time I start in a different way, I end up sitting halfway through, so we might as well start sitting. Okay, so sitting up nice and or sort of tallish. Don't go mad on the tall thing. And just rocking from side to side on those seat bones, feeling them into the ground. And then come to rest. And then just slide your fingers forwards on your legs. And push those toes away. And then pull those toes towards you. And then relax them. And then lift yourself up to vertical. And put your hands on the floor level with your bum. Roll your shoulders back and down. And lift yourself up. So just lifting, so we're light on our bottom. Lifting, lengthening the head to the ceiling. Pushing that chest forwards. Don't do that. Pushing that chest forwards. Hands on the thighs. Rolling yourself forward again down towards those feet. Reaching those feet. Pull the toes up. Push the toes away. Sit yourself up nice and tall. And then take your left hand on your right knee, right hand behind, and turn yourself round. Looking over that right shoulder. Pushing off that right arm so we're staying nice and tall. And then rotating round to the front. And put the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind. And lifting up, turning around the other way. Pulling that, trying to pull that left shoulder backwards and trying to look over that left shoulder. And then coming back round to the front. Hands on the thighs. Slide yourself forwards with your fingers. Pull yourself down. And then sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to roll ourselves slowly down to the floor. So sit up tall, fingers towards the feet, collapse the pelvis. So we're pushing the top of our pelvis down to the ground. Rolling down, pushing the top of the pelvis down, middle of the lower back, and then all the way down. Take the arms all the way over the head. Push the fingers away from the toes, push the right hand from the right foot, and the left hand from the left foot. Take those fingers all the way up to the sky, bring the knee into the chest. Reaching that right knee away from the left knee. And then pull that leg all the way over your body and push your right hand away from you. Pushing your right hand away. Turning your eyes over to the right, ear to the floor. And pulling that right knee to the ground and stretching the hip away from the shoulder. And then roll your right knee back onto your back. Pull that knee back in towards the shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Release that right leg out straight and pull that left knee in. Pull the left knee in towards the armpit. Pushing that right leg away. And then pull that left knee all the way over the body. And push the left hand away from you. Turn your eyes to the left. Breathing in, breathing out. Push the left hand away. Pushing the shoulder to the floor, trying to get that left knee to the floor and trying to push that hip away from the shoulder. So these are all things you're aiming for. They're not things you're necessarily achieving, but that's the direction we're going in, pushing the hand away. And then roll onto the back again. And pull that left knee into the body and then pull the right knee in as well. So just hold those knees gently, pull the chin into the chest and then lift it up and lengthen the neck. Roll those shoulders up to the ears into the floor, pull them down and lengthen the spine. So we've got the top ribs on the ground, middle ribs, bottom rib, and then flatten that lower back on the floor so the tailbone lifts up. And then push the tailbone into the floor so the lower back lifts up a little bit. And then flatten the back so the tailbone lifts up. And then bring that back into a small lift so we're in a neutral spine position. Lengthening the body. Pulling both knees in, so we're closing that hip joint, keeping the tailbone to the floor. So I've got my knees apart. And then let the knees go away a bit and just pull those knees apart further. So we stretch the inner thigh, keeping the shoulders back and down, keeping the back lengthened. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring those knees back together. Put the right leg out straight, left leg out straight. Push those hands over the head, reaching the fingers from the toes. Walk the hands to the left-hand side of the mat and stretch the right-hand side of the body. And walk the feet to the left-hand side of the mat and cross the left foot over the right leg and just hold yourself in that stretch. Use the out breath to stretch a bit further. And then walk those hands to the middle of the mat and the feet to the middle and across to the right-hand side. And then cross that right leg over the left. Take hold of the left wrist and really stretch the left fingers away from the left toes. Good. And then come back to center. Pushing the fingers away from the toes, bringing the fingers all out to the sky. And then put the arms down by the side. Roll the shoulders up to the ears into the floor, slide them down, and then palms up, slide your fingers under the top of your leg. So we're going to do the fish exercise, rolling the shoulders, sliding them down, push off those elbows, lengthen the legs away, reaching that breastbone up to the sky and letting the head tilt back. So we get into the position first. Pushing off those elbows. Gradually tilting on towards the top of the head, opening up that chest. Breathing in, breathing out. And then release. Lay the back flat on the floor. Bring the right knee in. Bring the left knee in. Bring the nose up to the knees. So you're curling the back the other way. So we gently get ourselves into this inverted position. Put the right foot on the floor, slide it away. Put the left foot on the floor. Slide it away, let the back go down. Put the fingers under the top of the leg. Breathing in on the out breath. Push off the elbows. Lift up onto the top of the head. Opening the chest. Breathing in. Squeeze the shoulders, legs together. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Pushing off those elbows and stretching through the chest. Drawing in the core. Making sure the neutral spine is protected, the lower back's being looked after. If you feel it in your lower back, slightly tilt your pelvis so that you're moving more onto the tailbone and lowering your lower back to the ground. Stretching that chest and stretching that upper back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing in, lengthen the legs. Breathing out, lower to the ground again. Bring the right knee in, bring the left knee in. Bring the nose to the knees, scrunch yourself up, and then release and open yourself out again, sliding those feet out on the floor. Pop the fingertips under the bottom, breathing in, roll the shoulder blades back and down, breathing out, push off the elbows, lift up onto the top of the head, squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening up, and lengthening the legs away. Protect that lower back. Now bend that right knee up. Put the foot closer to the bottom and bend the left knee up and put the foot closer to the bottom. Making sure the weight is through the elbows. Opening the chest, drawing in the tummy. Making sure you're looking after your lower back by tilting that slightly to the ground. Straighten that right leg up. And bend it. Straighten that left leg up and bend it.
All right. Oh, I see.
Straighten the right leg up and bend it. Straighten that left leg up and bend it. Lift that right leg up, keeping it bent. See if you can lift the left leg up as well. So you're pushing off the elbows, tummy's engaged. Pop the right foot down, pop the left foot down. Slide the right leg out straight. Slide the left leg out and then lower the back to the floor. Bring the left knee into the body and scrunch up, and bring the right knee in and scrunch up. Bring your nose to your knees. Keep yourself nice and strong. Hugging in, stretching that back. Stretching that back. Keep stretching. Sorry, just had to get rid of the dog. Okay, lengthening those feet back down to the ground, body back down. Slide those fingers again under the bum. Legs are out straight. Breathing in on the out breath. Push off those elbows. Lifting up onto the top of the head. Squeezing with the tummy, making sure you're looking after your lower back. So protect that lower back. I remember that planking diagram I did on the WhatsApp. Visualize your pelvis. So you've got your pelvis vertical off your tailbone. Tilt the top edge of the pelvis towards the head more. Opening the chest, putting those shoulder blades back and down. Bend that right knee up again. Bend that left knee up. Lifting yourself up nice and tall with those knees. Lift that right foot off the floor. Take that right leg out straight, drawing in the core, using the tummy muscles, challenging the legs. Bring that back in. Put that on the floor. Bring that left leg up. Take that left leg out straight, drawing in the core. Bend that left leg and put it back on the floor. Slide both legs away on the floor together, using your tummy muscles to control that pelvis. Keep that open. And then relax and lie flat on the ground. Take those arms all the way over the head, stretch that tummy. And then bring the arms up to the sky and bring the knees back into the chest and hug your knees again. Hugging those knees. Holding yourself here. Relax the top of the body back to the floor, make the head rest on the ground, roll the shoulders up to the ears into the floor, slide them down. Make sure the ribs are on the ground, top ribs, middle ribs, bottom rib. Flatten that lower back, knees are still bent. And now slightly arch the lower back, bring your hands onto the floor next to your bum. Lift the feet up a little bit so your knees are bent to 90 degrees. And then we're going to lower the right leg, keeping the knee bent, and tap the heel on the floor. And lift up. And lower the left leg. Tap the heel on the floor. Lift it back up. Lower the right leg. Tap the heel on the floor. Keeping that core strong. There should be no movement anywhere other than the leg. Lift it back up. Take the left leg down, tap the heel on the floor. Lift it back up. Each time taking the foot a bit further away from the body. Right leg down. Lift it back up. So you've got to work within your parameters. Keep taking the leg down and take it further and further away, but you mustn't let your back lift up at all. If your lower back lifts at all, bring your leg closer in towards your bum. Down and up. Down and up. Down and up. And again, down and up. Take the right foot down and leave it on the floor. And then take the left foot down, leave it on the floor. Keep lengthening your head away from your tailbone. Stretch those legs out straight without letting the body move. Open those hips up. Really stretch out straight, clenching with the bum. And then drag those feet back in. both legs together, no movement of the spine. Keep those shoulders back and down. So this is engaging your core, strength, working on the core muscles. Take those legs away. Keeping the torso still, keeping the shoulders back and down, opening up the hips, breathing in, and then breathing out, coming back in. And then lengthening away. And then long, nice long legs. Breathing in, and on the out breath, coming back in. Breathing in, on the out breath, lengthening away. Breathing in, and then drawing those legs back in again. Good. Keep your feet flat on the floor by your bum. Keeping those shoulders rolled back and down. Lengthen those ribs. We're going to come up into the bridge. So put your palms down. Breathing in, clench the bum, flatten the lower back, push off the heels, balls of the feet are soft on the floor, and lifting all the way up. So everything about Pilates and life is where the pelvis is positioned. Breathing in, we're going to roll back down, so one vertebra at a time, all the way back to the floor, curling. Pelvis is tilted, tailbone's up to the sky, pelvic crest is down towards the floor. When you get there, you're going to flatten the pelvis on the ground, arch it, breathe in at the bottom, and then flatten the pelvis back on the ground, lift the tailbone all the way up, push through the heels, and lift yourself up off the ground, pushing those fingers down towards the heels, breathing in. On the out breath, lowering yourself all the way down to the ground. Lowering down, one vertebra at a time, arch the back at the bottom. Breathing in, breathing out, rolling the pelvis and pushing through the heels and lifting yourself up. Okay, we're going to stay up here. Take the arms all the way over the head, reaching the fingers from the toes. Breathing in, on the out breath, rolling all the way back down to the ground, one vertebra at a time. Making sure that the top of the pelvis goes on the floor before the tailbone. Arch the back and push the tailbone into the ground. Bring those arms back down by your side. Breathing in on the out breath, rolling the pelvis, pushing through the heels, lifting yourself up. Bring the arms over the head. Breathing in on the out breath, one vertebra at a time, all the way back down to the ground. Arching at the bottom. Bring those arms back by the side. Breathing in. One more, breathing out, rolling the pelvis, lifting up, squeezing. Bring those arms over your head. Reach the fingers from the toes, and then one vertebra at a time. As you breathe out, lower, keeping the tailbone high. That's the last thing to go down onto the ground. And then bring the arms back down by the side. Okay, breathing in on the out breath. Lifting up, keep the arms by your side, lifting up one vertebra at a time, all the way up, hold yourself high. Good, clench with your bum and push into those hip flexors, push those shoulders away from the knees, and then just loosening, we're going to weight onto one leg. So we're going to lift the right heel off the floor, so that we've got the toes are touching the floor and you're using the toe for balance but not load. Yeah, now put that heel back on the ground and now lift the left heel up. Okay, right, cramp, that's, okay, hang on. Come back down to the floor, everyone come back down to the floor. Okay, if you get cramp, you've got to push through the heel of the leg that you're supporting on. So that lifting the heel up is not about putting the weight through your toes, it's about putting all the weight through the other leg. So we peel and lift up, make sure that the heels are under your knees. So my toes are soft on the floor and I'm pushing through my heels. Now I'm going to put all the weight on my left leg. So I just take the right heel up and eventually, so the first part of the exercise is heel up, second is heel up, foot up, Third is heel up, foot up, straighten the leg. And then the fourth is moving the thigh, either with a straight leg, which is harder, so we bend the leg and do it with a bent leg. So stop at any point when you start feeling challenged. So breathing in, on the out breath, tuck your tail up and push through your heels and lift yourself up into the bridge. So lifting up, push through the heels, Jane, push through your heels, breathing in. On the out breath, lift that right heel up off the ground. So the toe, yes, and then drop it down. Now we change, lift the left heel up off the ground and drop it down. Lift the right heel up off the ground and then lift that right foot off the ground. Good, then put it down. And then lift the left heel off the ground and then the left foot off the ground. Good. And then down. And then if we feel up to it, lift the right heel up, right foot up, and then straighten the right leg. Straighten the right leg. Good. Keeping the thighs parallel. And then do the other leg. Heel up, foot up, kick the leg straight. So Max, don't move the thighs quite so much. Bend the knee and then put the foot down. And then lower down and just have a break, and then we'll move into the next part. Lower yourself down. So the thigh, bringing the knee towards the head is moving the thigh in the pelvis, which is disrupting the pelvis. So if we keep the thigh still by just kicking the foot up in front, down, and then we do the moving the thigh up. Okay, so heels, push through the heels, breathing in on the out breath. Lifting the bum up off the floor. Breathing in, breathe out, lift up, clench with the bum, pushing through those heels. Lift the right heel off the ground. This time, kick that right leg straight up towards the wall in front of you. Good. Kick it up, Jane, leg higher. Now bend that knee and bring it in towards your chest. Oh, God. Bend it into the chest. Straighten it out. Good, and then put it back on the floor next to the other leg. Good. Rest down if you want in between. Okay, making sure when you rest, you don't just flop down, that you lower down. Okay, so breathing in on the out breath, clench the bum, push through the heels, lift those hips up. Breathe in here, breathe out, lift the heel of the other foot up. Kick that leg out straight. Bring that knee into the chest. Straighten that leg out. And then put the foot back on the floor next to the other one and lower yourself back down. Good. Okay, feeling it in the hamstrings, or are we all right?
No, feeling it up here in the hamstrings.
Feeling it in the hamstrings, yeah, okay. All right. So hug your knees into your chest and just give those hamstrings a bit of a rub. Now put the left foot on the ground, straighten that left leg out straight. And so the left leg's on the floor straight, and put the right leg in the air straight. And just pull that leg towards you and stretch the hamstring. Pull those shoulders up to the ears into the floor, pull them down. And then bend that right knee and pull that leg towards you a bit more, so we stretch a bit higher up in that hamstring. So we're stretching, Jane, hold the back of the thigh. Good, stretching those legs, the back of those legs. Okay, relax. Pop that right foot on the floor, bring the left knee in, straighten the left leg out straight. Put the left leg up in the air straight, right leg is straight on the floor. Pulling this, so you can hold your trousers and pull the leg towards you. Hold behind the leg if you want. And then bend that knee and bring the knee towards the chest. Keeping the foot as much over your face as you can, so you feel the stretch in the back of this leg. And release. So hamstring tension either comes from fatigue or from your nerves. So it could come from your lower back, so it could come from tension of the hamstring. So let's just correct the position and check we're doing this bridging right. So if you looked at the diagram I sent you on the WhatsApp, you'll see that if the pelvis is not in line with the spine, because we're lifting up and keeping it bent, we'll be compromising the facet joint where that lower spine nerve comes out. So lying on the floor here, roll the shoulders into the floor, slide them down, breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the back into the ground and lift the tailbone up. Clench the bum and just hold this here, this curl. Don't lift higher at the minute. So I've got my tailbone up, my back's flat, shoulders are flat. Okay, release the tailbone flat to the floor and arch the back the other way. So we're lifting the tummy off. So we're doing cat and dog stretch, lying on our back. Breathing in on the out breath, rotate the pelvis, flatten the back and lift the tailbone up. Clench the bum and push through the feet. So my tailbone comes off the ground. So this is a good one for you, Annie, for your lower back, for mobilizing it. And then rotate the other way, flatten the back in the ground, tailbone down and arch it up. So this is the beginning and the end of the bridge. So breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the back, lift the tailbone up, push through the heels, clenching with the bum, lift that hip up high and push into the hip flexor. So you invert the hip. So you're not overarching the lower back. The lower back stays straight. It stays in neutral spine. The thing that is bending upwards is the pelvis to leg joint. Breathing in on the out breath, lower that body one vertebra at a time down to the ground. Flatten down, arch the back at the bottom, so we're on the ground. And now we're going to tilt the pelvis, take the tailbone up into the sky or the pubic bone up. Lift the pubic bone, lead with the pubic bone, push the pubic bone high. Hold yourself here, soft on those heels. Soft on the balls of the feet, sorry, weights in the heels. And then lower all the way back down to the ground. So I think what happens, and I talked to Mum about this, is that you overarch the lower back rather than overarching where the leg joins the pelvis. You've got to keep the lower back in line with the pelvis. Okay, lengthen those legs out straight. Take the arms all the way over the head, reach the fingers from the toes. Breathing in on the out breath, fingers up to the sky, chin into the chest. Grab your rope if you want, Mum, and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Roll yourselves all the way up to sitting, reaching forwards. So, sitting on the mat. So, reach forwards and have a bit of a stretch here, breathing in. Breathing out. So we're going to concentrate on the theme of opening a chest and using the hip flexors, the glutes, because that's what the foundations of life are. So take your fingers about a foot further away. You can have your hands turned out slightly if you want. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Now pull them back. So my elbows are bent. Now I'm going to push forwards and straighten my elbows, taking my chest up, clench my bum, keep my feet parallel, and lift those hips up, squeezing with the bottom and pushing up.
Oh, blimey.
And then lower down. You're the only one who isn't muted, Mum, so we can all hear you.
What?
You're the only one who hasn't turned her volume off, so we can all hear you. Breathing in.
I couldn't see what you were doing, so I have to turn sideways.
Okay. Breathing in. Breathe out. Roll the shoulders back. Push the arms straight. Clench the bum. Squeeze at your bottom and push it up to the sky. Good. And then lower back down again. So this is arm strength, shoulder flexibility, core, tummy, and glutes. So strengthening the whole body into a straight line, which is what we do for walking and standing. Roll the shoulders back and down, squeeze with the bum, and lift. So we do this the other way up when we lift the leg off the ground. We're clenching and lifting the leg backwards and lower down to the floor again. So, but this way, we're pushing the heels into the floor to lift the bum up. So one more, breathing in. On the out breath, clench the bum, push off the hands, squeeze, push the heels in the floor. Good, lift yourself up, lengthen, and then lower back down to the ground. Bend your knees up. So when we have the knees up, it's easier on the core, but a bit harder on the shoulders because there's a bit more of a shoulder mobility needed. So roll the shoulders back and down, breathing in. On the out breath, push through the heels, squeeze with the bum, and push your hips up in between your chest and your knees. Good. Holding yourself nice and high. Lengthen. And then lowering back down to the floor. So we can progress this one, same as we did with the bridge. We can lighten on one leg, lift one leg up, lift one arm up, have one arm, one leg lifted, all of that jazz. So roll the shoulders up to the ears, slide them down, but there's no point in doing that if you can't do it with all 4 feet and hands on the ground. So breathing in, squeeze with the bum, lift high and lengthen your body. Pushing. Good. Clench your bums. Try and get your bums up higher. And then lower down to the ground. Good. One more. So it's really good for opening those shoulders. Good arm strength. Breathing in. On the out breath. Push through those arms. Squeeze with the bum. Lift yourself nice and high. Good. Lengthen your head from your knees. If your neck's sore, keep your chin into your chest. And then lower back down to the ground. Lengthen the legs out, hands on your thighs, and roll yourself forward. Circles with those wrists. Circles one way, circles the other. Loosen those hands off and reach forward. Pulling down. Breathing in, breathing out. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Put your right hand on your left knee, left behind, and turn yourself. And then come back, other hand on the other knee. Right hand behind, lift and turn. So every time we stress the body or strained it or challenged it, it's good to have a little stretch just to loosen up. Round down towards those feet. Soften the knees. Pull yourself forward onto your front bottom. Push your right leg down to straight. Push that left leg down to straight. And sit yourself up. Okay, so bend the knees a bit. So with this forward roll, we don't want to overbend the areas that are already stretchy. So don't focus on the bra strap area. Hold behind the thighs and try to pull your tummy onto your thighs. So Jane, can you really get forward onto your front bottom? Yeah, pull forward onto the front bottom. And then lower the legs to the floor, keeping yourself on that front bottom. Slide your feet, your hands down your legs. So I've still got my legs quite bent. Keeping on the front bottom. Now I can roll my body forward, but lengthen my chest towards my toes. So I'm getting a more even curve in my spine. That's better. That's better. So really stretching in that lower back. So all of you, it's the waistband area of your back you want to be stretching. Okay, release. Push those knees down. Put the hands on the floor behind and push the chest forward. So now we're not so fussed about the lower back. We want the breastbone up to the sky. Pushing forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Opening. Breathing in. Breathing out. Okay, rest yourself down on your seat bones. Have you got your sticks nearby? I thought we were nice and, I was going to do something different, but then I thought, oh, we're nice and positioned here. So hold your sticks on the front here. So sitting straight down with our seat bones, bodies up nice and tall, our pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone is vertical, in the vertical line there. So I'm forwards with my chest. Hold on to that pole, hold it wider than shoulder width, grip it and pull those hands apart from each other. Push the pole out in front and then pull it back to the chest. Good. Push it away in front. Good. Pull it back to the chest. Keep those elbows behind. Yeah, okay. Push that straight up into the sky. So Max, this is going to be a bit tricky. If you might want an umbrella or, yeah. Push it straight up in the sky. Take the pole down in front and pull it back. Jane, soften your knees a bit, Jane. Get it straight back. You're slouching. Chest up, straight back. Push that pole in forward. Take that pole up above you. So when you're all on your middle bottoms, breastbones up high. Bring that pole behind your head. Behind your head, elbows down. So chest up, Jane. Really push that chest forward. Holding this pole here, push it behind you, away from your head. Away, it's just 4 centimeters away from my head. Touch my shoulders. Push it away backwards. Push it up to the sky, keeping it away from my head. Bring it back down, keeping it open and behind. Elbows wide, Jane, if you can. Pushing up nice and tall, pulling those hands away. Bring it over in front of you, breastbone up high, pulling it in towards, pushing it away. Good, pull it back in, rest it here, and then turn around to the right a little bit. And then turning back to centre. And turning around to the left. And back to centre. And turning around to the right. Back to centre. Good. Really lift up high with that breastbone. Really pull the tummy button to the thighs. Good. Take the stick all the way up into the sky. All the way over your head. Good. Bring it down behind your head. Excellent. Push it up above the head. Bring it down in front. And then round the back, roll forward, pop the stick on your legs. And again, Jane, get forward onto your front bottom. Really, so soften your knees if you have to. So my camera angle doesn't show, but if I move my arms, my knees are about a fist off the floor now. About a fist off the floor. So I bend at the hip and then I push the right knee flat and then the left knee flat. So have yours a bit straighter, Mum. Yeah, pushing them down when you can, but keeping that bend. Okay, lift yourself up, pop the stick out to one side. Lift yourself up tall, swing your legs around and come up onto all fours. So onto all fours. Okay, right, so just first of all, we do a bit of cat and dog stretch just to get into neutral spine. So turn the inside of the elbows forward, roll the shoulders back and down, pull the knees apart on the mat. Turn the tailbone down, lift that back up, eyes come to the knees. So we're pushing up, breathing in. On the out breath, turn the tailbone up to the sky, sink the tummy down, bring the eyes up. Good, find neutral spine from that. So turn the pelvis horizontal. Lengthen the head away from the tailbone. Turn the left palm up and push it through under this right arm. Breathing in. On the out breath, push off that right hand, lift that left arm all the way up into the sky, getting that left shoulder back, stretching through that left hip, and swing that left arm all the way back through and under. Breathing in. Push those fingers through. Breathing out, bring that arm all the way up into the sky again. Try and get this left shoulder back. So lengthening, using the core, using the back muscles to hold yourself here, and then bringing that arm all the way through again. Breathing in. Breathing out, bring yourself back up, arm into the sky. Strengthening, using the strength through the glutes to support your hips. And then bring that hand back on the floor. Middle fingers parallel, roll those shoulders, the inside of the elbows forward, shoulders back and down, lengthen the body, pull the knees apart. Turn the right hand palm up and push it through under this left arm. Breathing in, breathing out. Push off that left hand and bring that right arm all the way up into the sky. So I'm using the strength of my shoulder muscles to pull that arm backwards. Stretching through this lower back, supporting with the left glute. Swing that hand all the way through again. Push off the right hand, push that left hand, push off the left hand, push that right hand through. Breathing in. Breathing out. Lifting yourself all the way up. Reaching up. Holding up high. And then swinging through once more. Good. And then bringing that arm all the way up one more time. Reaching, pushing off that left arm and bring that hand back down by your side. Okay, flatten yourself down to the ground. If you need to do a bit of a cat and dog before, that's fine. And then lay yourself down on the floor. Lay yourself flat on the floor.
Oh, she disappeared.
Right, lying yourself flat on your floor, forehead on the ground, arms by your side, palms up. Sorry, having dog trouble today. Haven't had this for about 6 months. Okay, breathing in on the out breath. Lengthen the legs, tighten the thighs, clench the bum, push the pubic bone into the ground. Draw your tummy in, lifting it up and lifting it off the floor. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Hands come up as well. And then bring the arms all the way down. Breathing in on the out breath. Lengthening the body, clenching the bum, lengthening the thighs, knees and feet are off the ground. Push the pubic bone into the floor, drawing the core. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Hold the arms in the air. Holding them in the air. Pulse those arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring them around and down. Breathing in. On the out breath, roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Bring those arms up. Pulse them up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them high. So this is kind of the reverse plank position we were doing with our hips off the ground and our feet on the ground and our hands on the ground. Lengthen the legs, keeping those hands high so the knees and feet are off the ground. Clenching with the bum. We're going to lift those feet up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Lower everything down. So that is the action and the muscles that you're using to lift yourself up in that reverse plank. So breathing in on the out breath. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Lift those arms up. Push those hands away. Keep them nice and long. Tighten the core, lengthen the legs. Resting on the pubic bone. Lift both legs off the ground from the thighs. 5. Lifting at the thighs. 4. 3. Keep those legs bar tight, straight. 2. 1. Hold them high. Clenching with the bum. Lift those arms up. 5. 4. 3. Tighten your knees, Jane. 2. 1, and lower down. Okay, so I can't quite see Annie or Sarah, but I think you're fine. So we do that again. This time we lift the arms and legs together. So breathing in on the out breath, roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky, arms come up. So we're straight arms. Push those fingers away from the shoulders. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs, straighten those knees, tighten the thighs. Lift those feet and legs off the floor. So I'm only resting on my pubic bone and my ribs. Lifting the arms and legs together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. So those are the same muscles that we use to lift in the reverse plank, and they're the same muscles you should use for walking and running and dancing. So one more. Breathing in. On the out breath, roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky. Push those fingers away. Nice straight arms. Lengthen the legs. Clench the bum. Lift those knees and feet off the ground. Resting the forehead still on the ground. Lifting those arms and legs again together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Okay, slide those elbows down by your side. Bring your fingertips near to your face. We're going up in the Cobra. So lengthen the legs. So we've done this the other way around. Often we do Cobra before we do the back extension. That should be a bit easier. So lengthen the legs, clench the bum, push the toes away. Breathing in. On the out breath, push the forearms and elbows into the ground. Bottom ribs are on the floor. Tummy's lifted, stretching that chest, really opening that chest, pulling those shoulder blades together. Breathing in, breathing out. And then lower down to the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, lifting yourself up off the floor, lengthening those legs, pushing the chest forward. Up into the Cobra Jane, chest forward. Yeah, keep those lower ribs on the floor. And then lower back down to the ground. Bring those hands, palms down, next to the bottom ribs. Elbows are in the air. We're going to come up into up dog. So stabilizing the shoulder, don't let the top of your arm spear forward. That has to stay around the back of your body. So roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky, holding them back and down. In that position you've been lifting them in before, you hold them there. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs. Breathing in. On the out breath, push the hands in the floor, curling the front of the body first, lifting straight off the tummy, lengthening, resting on the knees, open that chest, pull those shoulders back and down. Excellent. Holding, bum in the air, back into child pose.
Oh God, don't go for that.
Oh, well done.
Oh, done.
Mother, I shall mute you. Okay, reaching those fingers forwards. Stretching. Walking the fingers across to the left-hand side of the mat. Stretching through the right hip. And then walk the fingers across to the right-hand side of the mat. Stretching through the left hip. Okay, coming onto all fours. Right, we're going to just have a dabble with the plank, but from a pelvic position as opposed to an exhaustion type concept. So first of all, come on all fours like this with your fingers under your shoulders, knees under your hips. So we want to be in neutral spine. So we find neutral spine by tailbone down, arching up, tailbone up, eyes up, belly down. Bring the pelvis into neutral, so your tailbone comes down. So if you want to remember that, it's the knobbly bit at the front of the pelvis and your pubic bone need to be in line so they're horizontal to the floor. Lengthen the head away from the shoulders. Push the chest to the floor, push the breastbone over the fingers. Okay, holding yourself in this position. So it's easier to do it on the elbows first, but you end up with the hip in the wrong position. So if we do it on the hands, so taking the right leg out behind you, so that's straight, keeping neutral spine. So we do a bit of Superman, bring that leg back in. Take the left leg straight out behind, so no movement of the torso, bring that leg back in. So take the right leg out and clench the bum, holding it there. So we're going to tighten the thigh, clench the bum, And we're going to take the weight onto that right leg and slide the left leg out to join. So we're in Superman, we're in the plank with bum slightly high. So I clench my bum and drop it a bit so it's in between my heels and my head. Heels and my head. Now I can drop my left knee to the floor, drop my right knee, and I can go back into child pose and have a breather. So it's all about the pelvis being aligned with the spine. So now if we slide forwards onto our elbows, so I'm going to link my fingers, I'm on my elbows, but the trouble with this is my bum's in the air to start with. So if I find the neutral spine position, I could arch my back down, stick my tailbone up high, and then I can turn my tailbone down around my back. And then I can get my tailbone so that I'm in what I think is a parallel line with my spine. Now I can slide my right leg out behind me. Slide my right, make sure you're on the mat. So I was going half on the mat, half off then. Slide my right leg out behind. And now I slide my left leg out, so my bum's in the air. And then I lower my bum down and push my chest forward towards my fingers. Hold it here, just hold it here. Good. Now I can push my bum up in the sky, drop the left knee, drop the right knee, and go back into, wiggle the arms back into child pose. So first of all, you have to understand the correct position to not injure yourself. Secondly, you start to challenge yourself by holding it longer. Thirdly, you start lifting the limbs off the ground. But there's no point in lifting limbs up if you can't hold the straight position. So if we go again, slide the fists forward on the ground. Go on, Jane, one more. Slide the wrists forward. So just moving that pelvis to find that neutral spine position, a little bit of up and down. Clench the bum. Take the right leg out straight. Good. Take that left leg out straight. Lower the bum down so that we're straight. Push the breastbone forward towards the hands. Bum down, mum. Breastbone towards the hands. Hold yourself here. Hold yourself. So now we could lift legs up if we wanted, but let's just hold. And now we can push the bum in the air, drop the knees down, and go back into child pose. So Superman is the stage before plank. It's on all fours, lifting legs and arms in the air. So you guys are good at doing that. Good. Drop the bum right, take the hands left. And then slide the hands to the left and right hand side of the mat and drop the bum to the left. And then hold yourself straight, push those fingers away. Come back up onto all fours, walk your knees forward, you're going to sit down on the mat. So everything is connected, all these exercises are connected. Lying on your tummy, lifting your legs up is the same as what you have to do in the plank, it's the same as walking, it's the same as Superman. So lift yourself up tall, pop your fists on the floor behind, push that chest forward, breathing in, fill those lungs up. Breathing out, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take those hands horizontal on the floor. And then rolling back down to flat, so rolling down. So inordinate amounts of sit-ups with weights on your chest puts a massive load on your spine. Take the hands over your head. But we have to be able to roll up and sit up and get out of bed and get off the floor. So we have to be able to use the tummy muscles to lift ourselves. Take the hands to the sky. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. And take that right leg all the way over your body and stretch that lower back. Push the knee to the floor, push the right hand away from you. Turn the right ear to the ground, stretching the shoulder away from the hip. Breathing in, breathing out. Roll back onto your back, bring this knee in towards your shoulder. Bring the other knee in too. Pull those legs apart. Stretch that inner thigh. Bring those knees back together. Straighten that right leg out straight. Keep that left knee in. Pull that left knee over your body. Push that left hand away from you. Push the left knee to the floor. Take the left hip from the left shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Roll back onto your back. Bring that left knee in towards your shoulder again, or your armpit. Straighten that left leg out. Take the hands all the way over the head again, reaching fingers from toes. Taking those fingers all the way up to the sky. Chin into the chest. So there was one of these TV programs about your fitness, roll down towards your feet, and there was some 90-year-old chap who lived on an island in Polynesia, reaching forwards, stretching, sit yourself up, and they looked at his diet, which was all fruit and vegetables. Roll those shoulders back, lift your chest up, and they looked at his exercise, and he was active as in walking. But one of the tests for his general fitness was he could lie flat on the ground and then roll up to standing, which is basically flexibility around all your joints and a strength around them all to be able to do that. Rest on that middle bottom, take your arms out wide, put the fingers above the head, reach up tall, bring that chest forwards, try to get the hands up above your head, breathing in, breathing out, bring those hands out wide, rest them on your legs and roll your shoulders. Well done, girls. Yeah, I mean, I can't do that, get up from lying flat because I can't bend my knees in.
Do that then? Could he do that?
He could, yeah.
Blimey.
I mean, you have to go you've got to basically go, throw yourself forward, get your knees under you and get up, but you've got to not have knee injuries and not have hip injuries and not have back injuries and, but the sign of, too much exercise is almost as bad as not enough because you wear all your joints out.
Yeah.
You just don't die of a coronary because you've got a heart that works. But you've still got overworn joints. Oh, you've had a lot of fun doing it, so that's the main thing.